For our pie making class for the French silk pie, you're going to need to make your crust ahead of time. And for that, you're going to need a few things. You're going to need some Oreos. I'm using dark chocolate Oreos. You can really use any type of Oreo. You could use the classic Oreo. You can use the milk chocolate. I wouldn't use any of the like flavored ones that could be like a weird combination with your pie. Unless that's your jam, then absolutely you do you, right? No right or wrong way, just different ways in this class. You're also going to need some butter, and this is going to be what we use for our crust. You're going to need a food processor. This is what we're going to make our crust in. Unless you have like a food chopper or a mini prep bowl, something like that, but just something that has a blade so that you can get a finer texture on your crust. You could also use chocolate graham crackers in the place of the Oreos. If you do that, then I would add some sugar to it, and I would probably add at least like a 1/4 cup of sugar if you're going to use the graham crackers. You're going to want about 2.5 cups total. So if you are using graham crackers, then you're going to want to add the sugar, and then you want a yield of about 2.5 cups. So food processor, some butter, and then you're going to need your pie plate. Anywhere from a 9 to a 9.5 pie plate. This is a 9.5, so that's what I'm going to be using. If you're using the smaller one, you could get away with about 20 of these Oreos, but for this size of a pie plate, 9.5, I'm going to use the whole package. So that is the ingredients that you will need for your crust. And again, because of the amount of time that we have dedicated to our main event, which is our caramel apple pie, you need to make the crust ahead of time. So that's for the crust. As far, two other things. You will need some type of vessel for pushing the crust down into the pie plate. So I just have this little, this is actually a Pampered Chef. It works with my quiche pan, but I like to kind of push it down first, and then I'll go over it with a cup. So you just want a flat, round bottom cup. You could use a measuring cup, but I find the handle gets in the way. So if you have something you can just kind of push down, that would be ideal. And then you'll also need some plastic wrap for when you do push down. All right, so that is our pie crust. As far as our ingredients go for making the actual filling, which is kind of similar to a custard, you're going to need some vanilla bean paste, or vanilla extract is fine. You'll need some room temperature eggs. You will also need some granulated sugar. You will need a good unsweetened chocolate. If you want to go with a 70 to 100%, that's totally fine. You could just use the Baker's unsweetened chocolate as well. And then some butter. And then you will also need some heavy cream, and the powdered sugar is going to be for the heavy cream for that step. Also, if you want some fun little sprinkles to go on top, you could just get a solid bar of chocolate and use a potato peeler to do curls. The other ingredient that you will need is called Whippet. And Whippet is a stabilizer for the whipped cream, and this comes in handy when you're piping. It also freezes well. I would highly recommend that you get the Whippet. You're not going to be doing your whipped cream until you go to serve it, but this is wonderful, especially at the holidays. If you want your whipped cream to hold its shape and you're going to be piping and doing a cute little decorative top to your pie, I highly recommend that you get the Whippet. All right, and that is it for our ingredients. To make our pie filling, you are going to need a pan, a whisk. You will also need a thermometer so that you can temp check your egg mixture, and some vanilla bean paste or extract. And for this first part, we need our sugar, our eggs, and our chocolate. For the rest of the filling, you will need either a hand mixer or a KitchenAid.